Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay.
And I am Anuja Kumar.
With the Midday News. The headlines. Union Budget 2020-21 focuses on aspirational India, inclusive economic development and a caring society. Announcing the budget in the Lok Sabha today, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman simplifies personal income tax slabs, income up to 5 lakh rupees exempted from tax. Tax slab reduced from 20% to 10% in 5 to 7.5 lakh rupees income category. Concessional Corporate Tax rate of 15% to new domestic companies in manufacturing and power sector. Concessional tax rate for cooperatives. Deposit insurance coverage to increase from 1 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees per depositor. Dividend Distribution Tax removed and replaced by classical system. Health cess on imports of medical equipments, especially those which are made significant in India. Simplified GST return to come into effect from 1st of April. Agriculture credit target for the year 2020-21 set at 15 lakh crore rupees. 16-point action plan announced to boost agriculture and to double farmers' income by 2022. All eligible beneficiaries of PM Kisan scheme to be covered under the Kisan Credit Card scheme. PM Kusum to cover 20 lakh farmers to promote use of stand-alone solar pumps. Special Kisan Rail and Krishi Udan to be launched for seamless supply of perishables. Jan Aushadhi Kendras to be opened in all districts to offer 2,000 medicines and 300 surgicals by 2024. Medical colleges to be attached to an existing district hospital in PPP mode. 100 more airports to be developed under Udan. Scheme to encourage manufacturing of mobile phone, electronic equipments and semiconductor packaging to be launched. And a national recruitment agency to be set up for conducting online common eligibility test for recruitment to non-gazetted posts. Defence ministers of nearly 40 countries will participate in the biennial Defence Expo 2020, which begins at Lucknow tomorrow. Defence ministers of Czech Republic, Mexico, South Korea, United Arab Emirates among those participating, including ministers from 14 African countries. Briefing the media, Defence Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar said in New Delhi yesterday that for the first time, India-Africa Defence Conclave will be held during the DEF Expo. He said the number of companies registered for participating in DEF Expo 2020 has increased to 1,000 from 702 in the last edition held in Chennai. 19 technical and business seminars are planned during the DEF Expo 20 and 15 of this would be organized by various industry chambers including CII, PhD Chambers of Commerce, the Associated Chambers of Commerce of India. Some of the seminar topics include discussions on artificial intelligence, robotics, Internet of Things, IoTs, drones, wired warriors, among others. Arrangements have been made for 5,000 college students from various technical colleges of Uttar Pradesh for visiting during business days. Entry will be free for the general public on February 8th and 9th. The government is ready to talk to those protesting against the Citizenship Amendment Act CAA in a structured manner. Union Minister of Law and Justice Ravi Shankar Prasad said in a tweet, it is also ready to communicate and clear all doubts about the Act. Here's the provisions of the Act may be explained to protesting members. This will clear any doubts and apprehensions which they have. President Ramnath Kovind has rejected the mercy plea of Nirbhaya rape convict Vinay Sharma. He was one of the 4 men on death row in the Nirbhaya rape case. With this, there are no petitions pending in the President's office in the case. Yesterday, a Delhi court postponed the execution of the death warrants of all 4 convicts in the case till further orders. All the 4 convicts in the case, Mukesh Kumar Singh, Pavan, Vinay and Akshay, were to be hanged in Tihar jail at 6 a.m. today. Lieutenant General Y.K. Joshi took over as a General Officer Commanding-in-Chief of the Northern Command at Udhampur today morning. Before assuming the charge, he visited Dhruva War Memorial. He paid tribute to martyrs who have sacrificed their lives under the Northern Command since 1972. General Joshi commanded 13 JK RIF in Operation Vijay and Parakram. Nicknamed Joe, he also displayed outstanding leadership during the Kargil War. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted Indian Coast Guard on the Foundation Day. In a tweet, Prime Minister said the Coast Guard has made a mark due to the remarkable efforts to keep the coast safe. He said the concern towards the marine ecosystem is also noteworthy. With just 6 more days left for campaigning in Delhi Assembly elections, all political parties in the fray have geared up their outreach efforts. BJP star campaigner and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will commence his 4-day campaign in Delhi from today. He is slated to address rallies in Karawal Nagar, Jahangirpuri, Narela and Rohini today. Senior leaders from Aam Aadmi Party and Congress will also hold public meetings today. The US has declared a public health emergency over the spread of the coronavirus. It said it would deny entry to any foreign nationals who have visited China in the past 2 weeks. Officials said US citizens returning from Hubei province, where the outbreak started, will be quarantined for 14 days. Early on Thursday, the World Health Organization (WHO) had declared a global health emergency over the new virus. A flight carrying 33 Sri Lankan students from Wuhan landed at Martala Airport this morning. They were then transported in a special bus under tight security to Dia Talawa Army Camp for quarantine. A Sri Lankan Airlines plane had reached Wuhan yesterday following President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's direction. Over the past 5 days, the Lankan embassy in Beijing has coordinated return of 625 students in addition to the 33 students from Wuhan to Sri Lanka. It is in the process of facilitating the return of the remaining 204 students who wish to return to the country. Britain formally gave up membership of the European Union (EU) last night. This concluded nearly 4 years of political upheavals. Britons had voted to leave the bloc after 47 years of membership by a slim majority in 2016. Brexit follows 2 general elections, the ouster of 2 prime ministers, and politics reshaped by Brexit divisions. Hundreds of Brexiters crowded into Parliament Square outside the House of Commons to toast the historic moment. Across the rest of Britain, a series of events including marches, celebrations and candlelight vigils were held by both Brexiters and pro-EU demonstrators. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said that the divorce from Brussels is a moment of real national renewal and change. It is not an end, but a beginning. The 13th International Children's Film Festival of Bangladesh concluded yesterday in Dhaka. It also witnessed a closing ceremony in which 11 awards were conferred in various categories. The Best Feature Film Award in the international section was given to Dutch film Romi's Salon, directed by Mischa Kamp. The film tells the story of a child, Romy, who visits her grandmother in her salon suffering from dementia. The jury for the International Competitive Film section included Syed Salahuddin Zaki, Shamim Akhtar and Shabnam Firdausi. Finnish director Meraja Maijanen bagged the Best Director award for her film Good Girl. German film Day X, directed by Katharina Revelis, won the Best Short Film award. Bangladeshi director Rajiv Mahmood Safayat Shah got the Young Talent Award for his film The Smoker, while Sudapta Shah won the Social Film Award for his film Khoka Jokhon Choto Chilen. A total of 179 films from 39 countries were screened at 5 venues in Dhaka during the Children's Film Festival, which started on the 24th of January. The second Air India special flight to evacuate Indians from coronavirus hit Wuhan in China departs from Delhi today. The first flight with 324 passengers landed in Delhi earlier today. The second special flight has the same doctor's team but a different set of crew. All the passengers who arrived from Wuhan have been quarantined for 14 days at the 2 quarantine centers. These have been set up at Manesar, managed by the Armed Forces Medical Services, and Chawla Camp, managed by ITBP. Out of 324 people, 103 have been taken to the ITBP camp for medical observation. In the Australian Open tennis, the women's singles final between Spaniard Garbine Muguruza and American Sofia Kenin is underway at Melbourne. Muguruza defeated Simona Halep 7-6, 10-8, 7-5 in the semi-final on Thursday. Sofia stunned in wall number 1 and local hope Ashley Barty 7-6, 8-6, 7-5 to reach her first Grand Slam final. Men's singles final between Serbian Novak Djokovic and 5th seed Dominic Thiem of Austria will be held tomorrow. Djokovic defeated Roger Federer while Thiem beat Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com.
And now news from the General Budget. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the general budget for the year 2020-21 in the Lok Sabha today. At the very outset, she said that by giving a massive mandate to Prime Minister Narendra Modi to form the government again in 2019, the people of India have unequivocally given their Janadesh for political stability and reposed faith in the government's economic policies. The Finance Minister said the budget aims to boost income, enhance people's purchasing power and is dedicated to provide ease of living to all citizens. She added that the objective is to provide corruption-free, policy-driven good governance and a clean and sound financial sector.
We are now the 5th largest economy of the world. India's foreign direct investment got elevated to the level of $284 billion during 2014 and 19 from $190 billion that came in during the years 2009 to 14.
Mrs. Sitharaman said the budget is woven around three prominent themes, that is, Aspirational India, economic development for all, and a caring society. The Finance Minister reiterated that the government is committed to the goal of doubling farmers' income by 2022. She said schemes like Kusum, PM Fasal Bima Yojana, Krishi Sinchai Yojana, PM Kisan Yojana, and PMGSY have helped raise farm incomes.
Our government is committed to the goal of doubling farmers' incomes by 2022. We have provided energy sovereignty through Kusum and input sovereignty through Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. We have provided resilience for 6.11 crore farmers insured under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Focus on cultivation of pulses, expansion of micro irrigation through Krishi Sinchai Yojana have raised the self-reliance of the country.
The Finance Minister announced 16 action points to indicate the focus of the government. These include comprehensive measures for 100 water-stressed districts, expanding PM Kusum scheme to assist 20 lakh farmers in setting up stand-alone solar pumps and encourage balanced use of all kinds of fertilizers. Besides, the government will provide viability gap funding for setting up efficient warehouses at the block or taluk level. Railways will set up a Kisan Rail through PPP arrangement to build a seamless national cold supply chain for perishables. To improve value realization, especially in Northeast and tribal districts, Krishi Udan will be launched on international and national routes. The government will also facilitate doubling of milk processing capacity from 53.5 million metric tons to 108 million metric tons by 2025. Youth will be involved in a big way in fishery extension, and fishery exports are expected to be raised to 1 lakh crore by 2024-25. All these schemes are to be implemented in cooperation with the states, added the Finance Minister. Mrs. Sitharaman proposed to expand Jan Aushadhi Kendra schemes to all districts by 2024. She said the government has approved 3.60 lakh crore for Jal Jeevan Mission to provide piped water supply to all households.
TB Harega, Desh Jeetega. This campaign has been launched. I propose to strengthen this campaign to realize our commitment to end tuberculosis by 2025. I propose to expand also Jan Aushadhi Kendra scheme to all districts, offering 2,000 medicines and 300 surgicals by 2024.
Cities with over 1 million population will be encouraged to meet this objective during the current year. Referring to education and skill-related programs under Aspirational India, Mrs. Sitharaman said a new education policy will be announced soon. It is proposed to start degree-level full-fledged online education program for students of deprived sections of society who do not have access to higher education. A National Police University and a National Forensic Science University are also proposed to be set up. To cope with the shortage of qualified medical doctors, the Finance Minister proposed special bridge courses to bring in equivalence. Dwelling on economic development, the Finance Minister said the government wishes to create more opportunities for young entrepreneurs. She proposed to set up an investment clearance cell to provide end-to-end facilitation and support. 5 new smart cities are to be developed in collaboration with the states, and a scheme to encourage manufacture of mobile phones, electronic equipment and semiconductor packaging will be launched. The Finance Minister also announced the launching of a national textile mission and a new scheme, Nirvik, to achieve higher export credit disbursement.
Higher export credit disbursement, a new scheme, Nirvik, is being launched, which provides for higher insurance cover, reduction in premium for small exporters, and simplified procedure for claim settlement.
A scheme for reversal of duties and taxes on exported products will also be launched this year, she added. Speaking about infrastructure, the Finance Minister informed that development of highways will be accelerated. This will include development of 2,500 kilometer access control highways, 9,000 kilometer of economic corridors, 2,000 kilometer of coastal roads, and 2,000 kilometer of strategic highways. She said Delhi-Mumbai Expressway will be completed by 2023 and work on Chennai-Bengaluru Expressway will also be started. 100 more airports will be developed by 2024 to support Udan scheme. Mrs. Sitharaman said taking electricity to every household has been a major achievement of the government. It now intends to promote smart metering. She urged all the states and union territories to replace conventional energy meters with prepaid smart meters. Talking about the new economy based on innovations, the Finance Minister said the government has harnessed new technologies to enable direct benefit transfers and financial inclusion on a large scale. A policy will soon be brought out to enable private sector to build data center parks throughout the country. Also, BharatNet will link 1 lakh Gram Panchayats this year. The Finance Minister informed the House that Beti Bachao Beti Padhao program has yielded tremendous results. Gross enrollment ratio of girls across all levels of education is now higher than boys. She said this budget provides for about 28,600 crores for women-specific programs that shows the commitment of the government to women's welfare.
So in continuing with our government's commitment to welfare of women, this budget provides for about 28,600 crores for programs that are specific to women.
Mrs. Sitharaman said an Indian Institute of Heritage and Conservation is proposed to be established under the Ministry of Culture. It will have the status of a deemed university. Further, 5 archaeological sites, Rakhi Gadhi in Haryana, Hastinapur in Uttar Pradesh, Shiv Sagar in Assam, Dholavira in Gujarat, and Adhichanallur in Tamil Nadu will be developed as iconic sites with on-site museums. A maritime museum will also be set up at Lothal near Ahmedabad. Regarding environment, the Finance Minister said the government proposes to encourage such states that are formulating and implementing plans for cleaner air in cities above 1 million population. Speaking about governance, Mrs. Sitharaman announced a proposal to set up a National Recruitment Agency, NRA, for conducting a computer-based online common eligibility test for recruitment to non-gazetted posts. A test center will be set up in every district.
The government intends to introduce major reforms in recruitment to non-gazetted posts in governments and public sector banks. At present, candidates have to appear for multiple examinations conducted by multiple agencies at different points of time for similar posts. This places enormous burden on time, effort, and cost for young people. To mitigate the hardship so faced, it is proposed to set up a national recruitment agency as an independent, professional, specialist organization for conduct of computer-based online common eligibility test for recruitment to non-gazetted posts. A test center in every district, particularly in the aspirational districts, would be set up. The Finance Minister assured that a robust mechanism is in place to monitor the health of all scheduled commercial banks and depositor money is safe. Further, the deposit insurance coverage for a depositor has been increased from 1 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. It is also proposed to sell the balance holding of Government of India in IDBI Bank to private, retail and institutional investors through the stock exchange. The government also proposes to sell a part of its holding in LIC by way of initial public offer IPO.
Talking about requirement of capital flow in the financial system, Ms. Sitharaman said the limit for FPI in corporate bonds will be increased to 15% of the outstanding stock of corporate bonds from the current 9%. Certain specific categories of government securities will also be opened fully for non-resident investors. In order to create a level playing field for MSME and promoting Make in India custom duty is being increased from 10% to 20% on certain household goods and appliances like porcelain tableware and kitchenware, electrical appliances like fans and food grinders, and certain stationery items. Custom duty on footwear is being increased from 25% to 35%, on furniture goods from 20 to 25%. Custom duties on toys like tricycles, scooters and dolls has been increased from 20 to 60%, while in the case of compressors of refrigerators and air conditioners, the hike is 12.5% from 10%. Health cess at the rate of 5% is proposed to be imposed on the import of medical devices. Custom duty on newsprint has been reduced from 10% to 5%. In order to provide significant relief to the individual taxpayers, the government has proposed a new and simplified personal income tax regime where tax will be significantly lower if taxpayers forego certain deductions and exemptions. Under the new regime, an individual will be required to pay tax at a reduced rate of 10% for an income between 5 lakh rupees and 7.5 lakh rupees.
Under the new regime, an individual shall be required to pay tax at the reduced rate of 10%. Anyone who's earning between 5 to 7.5 lakh today pays 20%. We are now reducing it in the new regime, which is devoid of exemptions, to 10% only. For income between 7.5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, he or she will pay at the reduced rate of 15% only against the current prevailing 20%. Similarly, for the income between 10 lakhs to 12.5 lakhs, presently the tax is 30%. That is now being brought down to 20% only. The income between 12.5 lakhs to 15 lakhs will be taxed. At the moment, 12.5 to 15 lakhs is taxed at 30%. Now, those earning between 12.5 lakhs to 15 lakhs will be charged at 25% only. Incomes above 15 lakhs will be continued at 30%.
The minister said surcharge and cess will continue to be levied at the existing rates. Those earning up to 5 lakh rupees will not be required to pay any tax. The finance minister said the proposed tax structure will provide significant relief to taxpayers, especially the middle class. The new tax regime will be optional for taxpayers. An individual who is currently availing more deductions and exemptions under the Income Tax Act may choose to avail them and continue to pay tax in the old regime.
Refund process has been simplified and has been made fully automated with no human interface. Electronic invoice is another innovation wherein critical information shall be captured electronically in centralized system. It will be implemented in a phased manner starting from this month itself on optional basis. It will facilitate compliance and return filing. Several measures have been taken for improving compliance. That has been a worry for many of the states. Aadhaar-based verification of taxpayers is being introduced.
Mrs. Sitharaman also announced concessional tax rate for electricity generation companies. She has extended the concessional corporate tax rate of 15% to new domestic companies engaged in power generation.
Our government is committed to bringing in transformational changes so that maximum governance is provided with minimum government. In order to impart greater efficiency, transparency, and accountability to the assessment process, a new faceless assessment scheme has already been introduced. Currently, most of the functions of the income tax department, starting from the filing of return, processing of return, issuance of refunds, and assessment are performed in the electronic mode without any human interface. In order to take the reforms initiated by the department to the next level and to eliminate human interface, I propose to amend the Income Tax Act so as to enable faceless appeal on the lines of faceless assessment. assessment. So faceless assessment was done. Now faceless appeal will also be possible.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman later tabled the Union Budget 2020-21 in the Rajya Sabha. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said the new tax reforms introduced in the budget this year are extremely progressive, bold and unprecedented. In a tweet, Mr. Singh said this new tax regime will reduce tax burden on the common man. He added that it will pave the way for an efficient tax system in sync with the best practices in the world. Talking to AIR News, Vice President SOCHAM, Vineet Agarwal has termed the budget as good, saying it will kickstart the economy. He appreciated the reduction of taxation on individuals and bringing more money to their hands so that money can be used for consumption. Senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi has criticized the budget. He said that there is nothing concrete in it to provide jobs to the youth. Talking to media outside the parliament, he said the budget has a lot of technicalities and repetitions. Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav termed the budget as one of the worst in the last decade. He said it has nothing concrete for farmers and unemployed. He also criticized the tax reduction announced today. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Union Budget 2020-21 focuses on inclusive economic development and a caring society. Announcing the budget in the Lok Sabha today, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman simplifies personal income tax slabs, income up to 5 lakh rupees exempted from tax. The tax slab reduced from 20% to 10% in 5 to 7.5 lakh rupees income category. Concessional Corporate Tax rate of 15% to new domestic companies in manufacturing in power sector. Concessional tax rate for cooperatives. Deposit insurance coverage to increase from 1 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees per depositor. Dividend Distribution Tax removed and replaced by classical system. Health cess on imports of medical equipment, especially those which are made significantly in India. Simplified GST return to come into effect from 1st of April. Agriculture credit target for the year 2020-21 set at 15 lakh crore rupees. 16-point action plan announced to boost agriculture and to double farmers' income by 2022. All eligible beneficiaries of PM Kisan scheme to be covered under the Kisan Credit Card scheme. PM's Kusum to cover 20 lakh farmers to promote use of standalone solar pumps. Special Kisan Rail and Krishi Udan to be launched for seamless supply of perishables. Jan Aushadhi Kendras to be opened in all districts to offer 2,000 medicines and 300 surgicals by 2024. Medical colleges to be attached to an existing district hospital in PPP mode. 100 more airports to be developed under Udan. Scheme to encourage manufacturing of mobile phone, electronic equipments and semiconductor packaging to be launched. A national recruitment agency to be set up for conducting online common eligibility tests for recruitment of non-gazetted posts. President Ram Nath Kovind rejects mercy plea of Nirbhaya case convict Vinay Sharma. Second flight of Air India to bring Indian nationals from China departs from New Delhi. And with that, we end the midday news.